guys, welcome again to another BTC update. I hope you are doing great today. Actually, it's been so long since my last Bitcoin update, but I keep getting requests from people asking me to give more information with regards to Bitcoin, to give my opinion with regards to the market, to BTC, what's going to happen. I'm seeing a lot of fear, a lot of greed, a lot of sadness, a lot of mixed emotions in my DMs all the time. So I've decided to try my best to release one YouTube video per day with regards to BTC. So basically, BTC daily updates on YouTube, a BTC daily update series on YouTube, basically, in order to give you more clarity and in order to be able to share my thoughts and opinions with regards to BTC and the crypto markets, basically. That way, you guys will see my opinion, and hopefully, those mixed emotions, those ups and downs will subside, as we analyze the markets together. So spread the word, like, share, and subscribe. It means a lot if you can help the channel grow. Your support will dictate the content of the channel and the quantity of content that this channel will produce, obviously. And as always, your support is always appreciated. So with that being said, this will be the first BTC daily update video in the BTC daily update series. And let's get started. Let's jump straight into the charts and talk about BTC and what I see in the charts with regards to Bitcoin. So we're going to talk about the two things. Basically, we're going to be talking about the macro perspective and the micro perspective for BTC. The micro will translate to the next couple of days, maybe a week or two, and the macro will translate to the next couple of months, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. So we're going to start first with a micro perspective. So as you can see here, BTC had been in a downtrend since June 1st, basically, and now we're almost July 1st, so almost a month of downtrend, hitting its head on the resistance and bouncing on support. We had a quick fake out right here, and then we obviously are potentially, in quotations, breaking out. Now, what do I see here? So first of all, a couple of things to note in my personal opinion. I see two things. I personally see this. In my personal opinion, I see this. Let me just erase the background here. So I personally see this right now, which is basically an upward channel. You can call it a formation of a flag, basically. So you have your pole right here, and you have some type of flag formation. The daily indicators are bullish. There's still no signs of heavy retracements on the daily time frames. So if we pop to the daily, just to check here, we don't see any heavy retracements, so any severe drops, basically. But there are a couple of things to take into consideration when it comes to these micro moves, obviously. So the micro moves don't really affect the long-term outlook for Bitcoin. So on the long term, on the macro, my position is fixed on something, and I will be explaining it when I go to the macro analysis. But on the micro perspective, honestly, there's no point in analyzing the BTC chart on the micro right now. No point at all. What I can do, though, I can tell you a couple of things. First of all, we are bearish on the daily time frame. Reason that we are bearish is because we are under the daily EMAs. So in order to have a nice rally to the upside similar to this, the first thing that we need to do is something similar to this, which is basically break the daily EMAs with force, with volume, reclaim them, and then start moving up. This is not a breakout. This is not a breakout. So right now, where we are is very similar to here and to here. We're just barely hitting our heads on the daily EMAs. So this doesn't mean that Bitcoin is going to drop like this from here, but this just means that till these EMAs are broken, clearly with a very good move to the upside, we are still bearish on the daily. And there's a high chance this could happen. There's a high chance that this could happen. And I believe that most likely that will be the case. Reason being is there's a lot of liquidity. If we go to the 4-hour time frame just to check the supply and demand zones that we have on the charts here, we have a lot of liquidity around this area and around this area. So between 64.5 and 66K. That area right there is a very high liquidity zone. If we pop to the 3-day time frame as well, and we change to check here, another place for liquidity. I'm thinking the daily. Yeah, the daily. Yeah, as you can see here, we are hitting that liquidity area on the weekly. I think, yeah, we can see it. Yeah, perfect. So on the weekly, as you can see here, the liquidity zone is between 63.5 and 65-ish. So I said 66 just to keep it conservative. But yeah, we have a lot of liquidity there, and this coincides with the daily EMAs being above us as well. So as you can see here, the daily EMAs are maxed at around 64.5, so a pop above them just to grab the liquidity from 65 for 66k is highly likely and very natural and very normal. Now, I don't think that we are out of the woods on the daily time frame. I don't think that this is going to go to 70k from here personally. Now, obviously, the more data we get, the better. If we get consolidation like this over the next couple of days without us being able to break the daily EMAs, or even something like this, where basically we pop up and we just consolidate on lower time frames, and then we just start to see bearish signals, then most likely this will drop once more before having any type of strong move to the upside. So basically daily is still bearish, right? Till we break these with force, something similar to this. Now, another reason why I think we need to go back down here is because CME, if we go to CME here, CME chart on TradingView, close on Friday around 60k, if I'm not mistaken, 60.4 or something. So let me remove these. So as you can see here, there's a huge gap left here between, I would say, 61.8 and 60. Well, this is CME price though, but there's a big gap, and I think the CME closed around 60k basically. So this is a huge gap here that most likely will be filled. As you can see it here, this gap will most likely be filled, and these gaps tend to be filled most of the time. Now, they don't tend to be filled 100% after, so it doesn't mean that they're going to be filled 100% today or tomorrow. It could take some time to fill them, but most likely, I would say 80 to 90% of the time, they do get filled over a specific period of time. We have another gap, I think, is around here, which is around 59.5. So I think that will be filled as well. So as you can see, we have two major gaps, one at 60k and one around 59k. And I think those will be filled no matter what happens for Bitcoin. So that's number one. That's why I think we are still, bearish on the daily time frame. And I think that this move right here, or this what's happening right here, is just, a sucker's rally. Obviously, the only way this gets invalidated if we get a nice big move like this. This is the only thing that will invalidate this being a sucker's rally, basically, on the daily time frame. All right. So, summarizing, I think daily is like that. Okay, just to be very clear. As for the weekly time frame, the weekly is where it gets interesting. So if we pop to the weekly time frame, let me see here. Okay. If we pop to the weekly time frame here, two things to know. Indicators on the weekly are still bearish, so there's still no bullish flip yet. We do have a nice bullish divergence happening here on the weekly time frame, as you can see here. So you have a low and a higher low, and then on the RSI indicator you have a low and a lower low. So it is a bullish divergence, nice bullish divergence, but this bullish divergence could just be a move from 58k, where the bottom was obviously, to the liquidity zone that we talked about. So to around, let's say, 65 or even 66k. So that would be your weekly bullish divergence. Now it could be more obviously, but if it goes, let's say, to around 67 or 68k, which is another liquidity zone right here, as you can see on the charts, if it goes there, then that means that the daily time frame just flipped bearish. But that doesn't say that the weekly is out of the woods yet. Now, there's a couple of things to note. Obviously, there's obviously a lot of liquidity on the downside for BTC as well. So there's liquidity around 50k ish, and around so 45 to 50k. I don't think we test that low, but I do believe that 52k is on the cards for BTC before summer. Now, obviously, the only way this theory or this prediction gets validated is with a clear and obvious break of the 60k area, and that for me will come in the form of a weekly close, I think. So if we can get a weekly close under 60k for Bitcoin, then that most likely will let us know that we're probably heading towards 50K-ish. So weekly close under 60, most likely there will be a 10K drop over a period of time. It could be sudden, it could be over a period of time. I cannot be very, very sure when it comes to that. Another thing to notice, though, these drops that were happening can still be normal and can still be okay. So on the monthly time frame, we are above the monthly EMAs, which are coming in around 47.9 and 41K. So we are still bullish on the monthly time frame, and we are still bullish on the weekly time frame. But these moves that I'm talking about towards 52K or towards 50K are just retracements, are just pullbacks basically. The only time we will fear the pullback and we will start to get scared of the pullback is if these EMAs, which are the 1830 EMA on the weekly time frame, if they are lost, so that's number one, and they cross bearish. So something similar to this. So if Bitcoin loses the weekly EMAs and then we start hitting them and get rejected all the time over a couple of weeks, and then they cross bearish, obviously we'll have a suckers rally after that, and then you can see here that you probably entered a very strong downtrend on the weekly time frame. Until that happens, we can very well experience something like this. So here in July 2021, the weekly EMAs did not cross bearish. We did lose them, but we didn't cross bearish, and we had a nice rally to the upside. And that would be most likely the bullish case if Bitcoin were to test the 50K or the 52K region. So if Bitcoin does go to 50K before the summer, and if the best bullish case scenario for it is if these EMAs don't cross bearish. If these EMAs do cross bearish, then unfortunately that would just mean that BTC is probably going to enter a multi-month downtrend. Now you can call it a bear market, you can call it a black swan, you can call it whatever you want. I would just call it what it is, a multi-month downtrend. That multi-month downtrend can basically be a consolidation type of downtrend where basically you go to 50 or 45 or you just stay there for a couple of months and then you start to move up. It's very hard to predict so far into the future. So that's why the daily BTC updates will help, obviously. So that is what I see for now for BTC. I don't see any, granted we are still in a range, which is very good. We are in this range right here between 70 and 60K. So it is something bullish on its own. But, it should have been, if this were a bull run similar to the previous bull run, this should have popped already to the upside. But it hasn't. And it's running out of time, basically. BTC is just running out of time. That's basically it. So just to summarize, guys, just so you can understand my thoughts again, on the daily time frame, I personally think something like this is going to happen. This is my personal view. Only invalidation to this is if we have a strong move to the upside, which is basically a confirmed breakout. Anything else, something similar to this or this, just means that there will be more downside here. Okay? Now, the downside could just go test that liquidity zone between 60 or 59K to close those CME gaps that are found there. Or it could be a new low. No one knows. If we do get a new low, be very, very careful because this will be followed by another lower high. So you're going to get a lower low. You're going to get a low here, a high here, a lower low, and another high. And then you're going to keep trending, basically, to the downside till you find a local bottom, basically. On the weekly time frame, personally, I believe that BTC is heading towards the 50 to 52K area region, but this is just a prediction and assumption, and I'm basing that on the weekly indicators still not escaping the weekly downtrend. Invalidation of this obviously will be just the break of the all-time high. Till that happens, till we're not able to break the all-time high, we are stuck in a range between 60 and 70K, and the likelihood of BTC tapping 52 before breaking the all-time high is more than the other way around. It could be the other way around, but for me, personally speaking, probability-wise, I think tapping the low 50 areas before the all-time high is more probable and more logical. On the daily time frame, I think what's happening right now is a suckers rally. There's a big CME gap around 59 to 60K, which I think will be filled once we start to get bearish indications on smaller time frames, on the daily time frame basically, or on the 4-hour time frame. If you're a daily trader, I think you get out and you wait for the drop to finalize, and then you start to think about your next trade basically. So that is it for the BTC daily update, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, like, share, and subscribe. It means a lot if you can help the channel grow. Any recommendations with regards to the BTC daily updates for this channel moving forward in the future will be highly recommended. You can leave a comment down if you want to see something different or what you want to see with the BTC daily updates, or you can always leave me a message on X and I will be more than happy to respond. Thank you guys for watching the video again, and I will see you again next time.